today. From GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, it's Week 16 of the NFL on EA Sports.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. Time to see what Patrick Mahomes can do here with his first possession. The quarterback out at Texas Tech getting set to lead this KC Chiefs offense.
And he just continues to throw touchdown pass after touchdown pass, leading the league here down the final stretch of the year. Guys will say that the numbers and rankings, they don't matter to him very much. But I don't know how much I actually believe that. Sure, he's team first, but I think everyone would like to see him finish #1, including himself.
Mahomes now on first down. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. This defense for the Pats, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
Well, we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
They'll run for the first time with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Mahomes now on first down, going up top. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jonathan Jones. And the Patriots are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive. So here come the Patriots to take over on offense. They're led by their quarterback from the University of Alabama, Mac Jones.
Mac Jones absolutely believed in himself coming out of high school. Went to Alabama despite the fact there are many high-profile quarterbacks already on the roster, and blossomed into a Heisman Trophy candidate in his final season with 41 touchdowns and only 4 interceptions. Steady, consistent as a passer, doesn't have the biggest cannon for an arm, but can stretch the field and lay those passes in on the deep ball.
And he's going to take this one down inside the 45. Pretty much unreal, not just in terms of yardage, Charles, but also throw in the 3 touchdowns as well.
When you put the whole package together, I can make you a pretty good guarantee right now. He's going to see a few more people in the box every time he lines up.
Yeah, I don't think that the defense has any choice. They've got to stop him. Can't let a repeat performance like that.
Agreed.
It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, but they'll remain a few inches short here with third down looming. Now Jones. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Julian Okwara with a big-time sack on third down. It's a loss of 7. So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's got this down to the 35. He's fresh off that 3-touchdown performance last week that got him AFC Offensive Player of the Week. So you know that he was already on their radar. Now he's maybe even a bigger plane on their radar.
Bigger plane.
And this is taken in at the 5. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A big play there for the Patriots. 1st and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points. And they'll run on the inside handoff. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
It is definitely hard to find space near the goal line. You always want to have a guy in the game running it who can create his own.
On 2nd down now, it's Parks. And he's in for the score, and his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
Well, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Patrick Mahomes on his way out for their next drive. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I'll guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 15 carries, 71 yards, and a touchdown.
And when you measure numbers for the guys that carry the football, it's not just the yardage. How many times do they ring the bell? How many times they get into the end zone? And now that he has 15 for the year, everyone gets to celebrate, starting with his offensive line.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Second quarter from KC. It's the Chiefs in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. To throw, it's Mahomes. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain.
And a lot of times, these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Call it a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up 4th down now. Butker's kick here is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25. So back onto the field come the Pats for their second drive. And, Charles, no two ways around it. Anytime you get the current number 1 and number 2 seeds in the AFC playing each other this late in a season, it's a big game.
It is definitely a big game, and not just for seeding and placement and such, but for trying to establish yourself as the team to beat. You want everyone else in the league to look at you and say, boy, it's going to be tough to knock those guys off.
2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. Now a dump off here complete. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he will finally go out of bounds, but not before he takes it down to the 25. A big play there on the catch and run.
Tell you what, partner, you get the football in his hands, just give him a little bit of open space. As we just saw, he can make you pay.
And he wasn't the top option there, but check down turned into 1st down and then some. On 1st down, Parks, powerful running. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big...
And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. A great play there. Ties LT with his 31st touchdown of the year. And the Patriots add 6 to their lead. So his strong first half continues as he finds the end zone here for the 2nd time.
And definitely good blocking at the point of attack. And you just have to love watching the way he can create space down near the goal line. And he's able to take it into the end zone.
Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Travis Kelce and the Chiefs set to take over again. Well, he's within shouting distance of a 1,000-yard season. Going to need a pretty good finish, though, if he wants to reach that mark.
Well, I like how you phrased it, partner. He is within shouting distance. If he stays on this pace, he's got a shot at it. But he needs a big game in there, right, to make sure that he gets it. So you know that during the week, in practice, and look, he asks for the ball all the time anyway. He's really going to ask for the ball and let his quarterback know he's open.
Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love it.
The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Going to need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack for Mahomes and company. They'll look to throw. Looking downfield for Kelce. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. On 4th down, Tommy Townsend to punt for Kansas City. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Patriots take over. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And he's found the end zone twice, and now I'm guessing he's thinking, hey, let's find it 3 times.
And you got to figure from the defensive perspective, how's he gotten there twice? What are we going to do to keep him out for a 3rd time? How do we tighten things down? Because he and his offensive mates, they are really in sync right now.
A throw left side to start out. That's complete. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. Throwing, Jones. Looking middle, and that's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. They'll look to throw again. And that'll be incomplete. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way. A dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 17-yard line. Back to throw again. Going right side here, and that's complete. And the Patriots are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5. Back in the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head. Touchdown, Patriots! A great effort there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Patriots add on to their lead. So simple math here in the 1st half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Chiefs going to go back on offense here late in this 1st half. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit. Throwing on 1st down is Mahomes. The tight end Kelce has it over the middle. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. From the 31, Mahomes got his man complete over the middle. It's Hill. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. They go play action. Now Mahomes. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. Open man is Hill. He's got it. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Butker's kick here is good, and that'll get the deficit down to 15. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. They find some open field here. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. So at halftime, it's the Patriots with the advantage. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. The weather might be cold, but the playoff races are heating up here on this final Sunday before Christmas. So let's get to it. We'll start up at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. And it's the Jets who are out in front in that one. Chase Claypool, a touchdown reception. From there, we head down to the Sunshine State to check on the Jaguars at home in Jacksonville. And they trail the visiting Denver Broncos in that one. Jerry Jeudy, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get you to Baltimore. Check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And that one all tied against the visiting Steelers. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answers, we turn it back over.
So here we go for half number 2. The Patriots with the lead, and they will be getting the football. This one fielded at the 5. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Patriots taking over to start quarter number 3. They'll run on first down. It's Parks. Breaks through the contact. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. 72 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Parks. And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. 2nd and 14. They'll keep it on the ground. Parks. And he'll slice his way down to the 30 with a pickup of 7.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Frank Clark in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Chiefs' defense comes up with a stop. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throw left side complete. That's Powell. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. On 1st down, Mahomes. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Third quarter action from Kansas City. 2nd down and 10. Here's Edwards-Helaire. And he's going to take this down close to the 1st as he's brought down at the Patriots' 39. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Edwards-Helaire, they'll try to run for it. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, though, if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
Mahomes firing complete. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots' 13-yard line. One quarter remains here in Week 16. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. Now Mahomes. They'll set up the screen to Edwards-Helaire. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Working from the gun, Mahomes. And that is caught for the touchdown, Kansas City. Cornell Powell, his 6th touchdown of the season, and the Chiefs are able to draw a bit closer. Extra point by Butker is on target as this gets him back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Patriot offense heading back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, it's team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
And Jones will hit the deck here, and he is able to pick up the first down. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the fourth quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time, and that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 42-yard line. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
From the 36, Jones. He'll get this to his tight end. It's Jonnu Smith. And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 20-yard line.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And that went a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. To throw again, Jones. Over the middle, complete. That's Parks. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get it out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
And Jones will hit the deck here, and he is able to pick up the 1st down. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Patriots with the football as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal as they search for what could be a game-sealing touchdown. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Mac Jones taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Patriots are on their way to a 13th win on the year as they add on to their lead. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And the lead is up to 15 now. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. So the Chiefs offense heads out. There's a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And for the moment, they're sitting pretty in possession of that #2 seed. But as we know it often happens, this is all still subject to change.
Oh, you're so right about that. But even though the math isn't there yet, I think it's going to take new math for them not to make the playoffs. They're almost certainly going to be in the tournament and certainly going to be a dangerous team if you have to play against them.
The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. Mahomes hit. He lost the football. Now another timeout called for by the offense as it'll come with an even 90 seconds remaining on the clock. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Now Mahomes got to have this one. He is going to find Hill here. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. One crisis averted, but they still need to move hastily. Mahomes on target there to Hill. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Mahomes. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
Meanwhile, Mahomes' throw caught by his receiver, Hill. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. And that will be incomplete with the clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
Well, this defense has been physical all game long, and it certainly looks like they're not going to back off and make things any easier. They want to keep making life miserable for the receivers all the way to the end.
Mahomes. He's going to have the hook up to Gage. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop him with 13 seconds left to play. Mahomes. And this is caught. So it's a late touchdown, but maybe too late. Still a little time left on the clock, however.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1-to-5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1-to-5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know.
Doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though, now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. So this will wind up a victory for the New England Patriots. And I'll tell you what, it has not been with a whole lot of frequency over the last couple of decades or so that teams have come into New England and escaped with a victory, but that's what happened here.
It almost doesn't feel real, does it?
We've seen it so few times.
That actually happened, right? We saw it. They came out of there with a win. And on the other side, in that locker room, you know what they're saying? We didn't really lose. Time just ran out on us. That's the attitude they have because they don't see it happen very often, not even sure how to handle it.
And you see some stunned faces heading for the exits here in New England. So for the Patriots, they continue to rack up the victories as this one moves them to 13-2 on the year. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for
today. From Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, it's Week 17 of the NFL on EA Sports.
And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. The Cardinals making their way out, and it's the #1 overall pick in 2019, Kyler Murray at the helm.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance, because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him to win. On play action, it's Murray. Into the secondary, past the 40. And finally taken down at the 34. A huge play there right off the bat.
We know play callers can be very creative in this game today, but sometimes when they've got receivers with speed like this, they don't need to design incredibly complex calls. Sometimes it's just get the ball in his hands and let him do his thing. In a sense, less can become more, and it was right there.
They will run for the first time here with White. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
And give him about 3 as he gets it down to the 22-yard line. This defense for the Patriots, they were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
It's a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct. When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. On 2nd and 11 now. Murray, throw right side, going to be caught by Higbee. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Sliding out of the pocket. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down. And now out is the Cardinal field goal team here. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Boswell's kick is good. And the Cardinals have the first points. It's 3-0. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
So now the Patriots getting set to take over on offense. They're led by their quarterback from the University of Alabama, Mac Jones.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it, because they ran the ball some, they threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
On 1st down. It's Parks. Oh, he's got a little daylight. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And he is into the end zone. And the touchdown record is now all his. 1 play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. So the Cardinals offense back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Murray going to try to throw on third down. And able to find Higbee. It's complete. And he is going to have a Cardinals first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Murray going to throw. He'll get this complete to Rondale Moore. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Now Murray again. That's complete to his tight end Higbee. And he's taken down inside the 30.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. On 1st and 10 is Connor. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Defense doing their job, really nowhere to run the football.
Yeah, it's almost textbook, wasn't it? Every place he tried to find an open spot, there just wasn't one. Congrats to the defense, no gain.
Called fitting your gaps, right?
I love it. You're exactly right.
And that'll set him back 5. So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15. To throw is Murray. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Only able to gain a couple there. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
And that's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Murray with a nice move. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
So that'll back him up 5. To throw, it's Murray. That's going to be caught by Kirk. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. Pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, this from 34. Boswell's kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So the margin shrinks there as they get the field goal to draw them a bit closer here in this second quarter.
Yeah, nice snap, nice hole. They just want to keep this game close, so give them credit for finishing that one off with 3.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. So back onto the field come the Pats for their second drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
On second down, it's Parks. And he's going to have a Patriots first down. His good running gets him to about the 44. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And they're going to speed things up here. Meanwhile, Jones' throw into the hands of Henry here. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now and this is caught. Touchdown, Patriots. A great play there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead.
They went 5 wide in that offensive set, and racing going 3 wide's a big deal. To go 5, how about the way that they finish things off?
Did you just fit a race car reference into the game?
Zoom, zoom. How about the way that you play? When you go 5 wide, that means you're going fast now.
Zoom, zoom indeed. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Arizona's offense back out and ready to go. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. From the 30 on second down, Murray with a catch made by Hopkins. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On 1st and 10, here's Murray. He's got Higbee complete right side. Murray, he's used to moving fast in Oklahoma. He'll get his guys up to the line. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Murray. Open man is Higbee, the tight end. And he is going to have a Cardinals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. The Cardinals forced to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Murray to air it out again. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. The long-distance shot before break comes up empty, but now Charles flipped the script. Time for likely one more play as field position becomes an issue.
Yeah, when you talk about field position, remember, if this kick is missed, the ball comes back to where? The spot that they snapped it from. So field position becomes a factor. I think in this spot, you might also want to think about throwing the Hail Mary. You know, put the ball up in the air. Maybe you can get 6 out of it instead of 3.
Yeah, see what happens. A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started down at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. And at the half, it's the Vikings who have taken their lead to the locker room. Adam Thielen, a touchdown catch in that first half. From there, we head up to MetLife Stadium to check on the Jets. And they trail in that ball game to the visiting Seattle Seahawks. Russell Wilson with 3 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's get up to Buffalo to check on the Bills. And they've got the lead over the visiting Houston Texans. Terrace Marshall, a touchdown reception. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Patriots taking over to start quarter number 3. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 127 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
For a lot of people, MVP award means a quarterback award usually, but over 100 yards again last week. They're going to have to look his way more than once when giving out this award this season, I think.
Yeah, it's not just the consistency. There's been some plays that...
And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. A big play there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Patriots add 6 to their lead. Well, he was already over 100 yards running the football prior to this play, but this run may be his best yet.
I've got to agree with you on that one. We're looking at a guy running with extreme confidence, running in harmony and sync with his blockers, all of them kind of moving as one, and look at the end result. Big plays.
And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line.
The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half.
And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again, 2nd and 10 from the 25.
On a handoff, it's White. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
And we've got movement by one of the big boys up front for Arizona. Flag comes in. That's going to set him back 5 yards. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. From the gun, Murray.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Here's Logan Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Let's take it inside his own 40.
A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt.
And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. Very good starting position for the Patriot offense as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. And he's got some space here. 20, 10, and he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. A great effort there. 50 yards.
And the Patriots are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
So what was already a game to remember becomes even more so as that touchdown run, a lengthy one, takes him over 200 yards now for the game.
And I love the fact that to get over 200, it took a pretty good sprint, didn't it? I mean, a lot of times you get 1 or 2 yards and, oh, he's over 200 yards. But that really put an exclamation point on the game he's having. Fantastic, a lot of fun to watch.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25.
Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They get,
and it's intercepted. It's Kyler Duggar who picks it. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Patriot defense has a touchdown.
Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Extra point tacked on by Lambeau, and that'll push the lead up to 29 now. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. With the football back in the hands of the Arizona Cardinals.
And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. Sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there and he goes down. It's a Patriot sack. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down.
Murray has it knocked loose. Fumble.
And the Patriots have it.
Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. Now Jones.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And Lambo will put this one through, and that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board, ended up settling for 3.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The Cardinals offense ready to set up shop.
And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Now a give to White. Now White lost the football, and the Patriots have it.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
And down inside the 15 he goes.
Wow. 240 yards rushing for him now on the afternoon as he just continues to pummel this defense.
Right back to him on first down. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. And to give this time to the tailback. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat.
And he's over the line and into the end zone for a Patriot score. A great play there. Taking it in.
And the Patriots extend their 4th quarter lead, and they are closing in now on a 14-win campaign.
Point after by Lambo, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. now after the touchdown. He'll kick this one away.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
Cardinal offense coming back out. Let's give you a look at the playoff race. Now, this is into the weekend in the NFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time. Murray fighting, lost the football. And it's picked up by the Patriots. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They'll keep it on the ground. Parks. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Pats take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Extra point tacked on by Lambo. And the lead will swell by 1 more. So that drive, 4 plays. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. The Cardinal offense takes back over.
And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
And that is incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
Murray now to throw. And that will be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Here's Logan Cook now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
New England trying to get a place on offense. And this team continues to stake its claim as Super Bowl favorites. They are now eyeing an 8th straight win as they begin this drive here in the 4th quarter.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Parks, and they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield.
And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new...
1st and 10, Taylor now. And he'll get it across midfield and down into Cardinal territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge. I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be given a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about to run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They'll look to run with Taylor. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, this is long since over, and some might see this as overkill. But remember, this is a team that puts on the hard hats, grabs the lunch pail, and tells everyone, we're going to give you a full 60 minutes. And that's exactly how they're playing this one out.
Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. The hit comes late. We saw it. There's your flag.
And we know that there's a guideline, right? Ball's gone. You get 1 step. If you're within 1 step of the quarterback, you can hit him as long as it's still done legally. But anything outside of that, looks like an extra step was involved.
Meanwhile, Murray's throw pulled in by Hopkins.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Offensive explosion help leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for New England,
they improved to 14-2 with still 1 game left to be played in this regular season.
that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. The Patriots winners here at home as we say so long from Foxborough.